Welcome to the Chaos Makes Sense podcast, brought to you by Smarter Chaos, where online performance marketing is all they do. Now, here's your host.
Hi, I'm your host, Kimberly Henry, and I'm here with Doug Davis, COO from Smarter Chaos, and James Martell, founder of the School of Internet Marketing and VP of Marketing for Jam Media, who is sitting in today for Matt. Today, we'll be talking tech and looking behind the scenes at Smarter Chaos about the technical processes, including the platform used to set up campaigns and why, architecting an advertiser's campaign, handling fraud, and the COO role. Now, before Doug and James join us, just a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance with your online performance marketing, you can reach Doug or Matt and the team at smarterchaos.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/smarterchaos. Doug, great to have you on the program today.
Hi, Kimberly, and it's a pleasure to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me.
You bet. And James, great to have you as well.
Well, thanks, Kimberly. Always good to be here.
We've got a lot to talk about, but first let's check in with you, Doug. What's going on at Smarter Chaos this week?
A lot of new campaigns we're setting up. Stu, our sales representative, has been very busy. Our rainmaker's making it rain like crazy. We have probably 5 new campaigns in the last couple of weeks that have come into the office, and we're busy in different phases of setup. And what I mean by setup is building out the campaigns for our advertisers to get all the implementation, the ads, the tracking, all those kind of good things that we can go live with. And we're looking forward to going live very soon with quite a few of them.
That sounds exciting. It always sounds exciting what you guys are doing as Smarter Chaos, but it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a peek behind the curtain today.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to explain a little bit about the back-end systems of affiliate marketing and what we do specifically at Smarter Chaos to put us a step ahead of our other friends.
So what is the platform that you use to set up campaigns, and why do you choose that direction? Sure.
We chose about 4 years ago to go with Impact Radius. I'm sure everybody's familiar with them out of Santa Barbara, California. They are, in our opinion, heads and shoulders above everybody else in what they offer and what we can do for our advertisers on the campaign. For example, they were one of the first to go to what we call the Electronic Insertion Orders. So basically, we set up our advertisers on an insertion order, set all the terms, and then all of our payouts and everything like that are all done automated. There's no manual transfers of money. It's all done behind the scene. They have set up online and offline tracking, which is kind of unique to their platform. They have extensive reporting. They have some great fraud mitigation tools. They do one thing that I'm pretty sure that not too many other platforms can do, and that's media sourcing, where an advertiser can basically track all different forms of media out there, not just the affiliate marketing that's going directly through us.
This, if I may, Doug, this is just a great topic because as affiliates, companies that are looking at setting up an affiliate program, I found a lot of times they have no idea what goes into the technical end of setting up an affiliate program. And I had the good fortune of actually working with you while you set up the program for us at the School of Internet Marketing.
Right.
And I was amazed at the level of technical detail that had to go into setting up what we felt was a relatively simple campaign. And then I also had the opportunity to meet with you all down at Smarter Chaos, sitting on the boardroom while you actually launched another affiliate program for another company. So this is a great topic. This is something that I'm sure a lot of people really don't understand the depth. And you mentioned Impact Radius, just finding the right platform in the sea of technology that's available out there. You guys do provide a great shortcut for companies.
Yeah, well, and you're right, finding the right platform and the right fit was our first and foremost thing that we needed to do when we started in business. And actually, we started at about the same time that Impact Radius did. And our founder, Matt, actually knew the folks over at Impact Radius rather well. And we set up a demo. And when they went through the demo with us, it sort of set the table for us as this is what we want to use. And mainly, it offers so much that we can do for our advertisers in terms of tracking. And as I mentioned, some of the electronic insertion orders and just some of the automation processes that we can do. We feel it's the best place to place our advertisers and their affiliate program on, just because of what it can do.
So, Doug, it sounds like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes for what the end consumer thinks is an automatic process. When you're developing an advertiser's campaign, what are the considerations that you have to take in?
Yeah. Don't we just push a button and it just works?
Right.
Isn't that right? I mean, you just push a button and it automatically happens. It's funny how some of that mentality is out there. But when we sit down with an advertiser, obviously every advertiser is going to have a different end goal, whether they want to do customer acquisition, whether they want to do sales, whether they want to do something like we're working with a company right now that actually wants to do a subscription-based model where they'll set up a free trial. And if that consumer lets the trial run and the credit card gets hit, then they'll need to send that data in and, of course, have a payable event, if you will. So we like to sit down with the advertiser and extensively understand what it is they're trying to do so that we can architect the tracking platform the best that we can. There are numbers of ways that you can do something, and obviously you can do it one way, but it may not be at the end the best solution for the advertiser. So we always want to make sure that we understand the process completely and what the advertiser is trying to accomplish, and then that way we can set up their program in the best manner.
James, what's been your experience?
With the school, it was an interesting little chuckle from Doug there. We had some technical challenges that we were trying to break through, and I was, I must say for a little while there I was getting a little frustrated, and thank goodness for Doug, because I had no idea the level of complexity. And we use the WordPress platform for our site, and we were running into technical issues with the plugins and things conflicting. And we had a very special little setup, similarly to what Doug said, subscription-based model in this case, where we wanted to pay out on a recurring basis ongoing. And it sounds simple enough to say, and I'm sure you run up against this all the time, Doug. Well, I would just like it to do this. Mm-hmm. That can't be that difficult, can it?
Well, and it involves, a lot of times, like what you said, James, it's not just setting up on one platform and running. A lot of times our advertisers are pretty sophisticated and they'll be on a platform. So the challenge becomes, if it was just running on Impact Radius alone, that's great. But the challenge always becomes making 2 different platforms, or sometimes even 3, play nice with each other. And there's a lot of back and forth testing, as you remember, James, just to get all the systems to work together and make sure that everybody's tracking. And at the end, too, you got to remember that we have our media partners who are on their platform as well. So not only do we have to get everybody to play nice together between us and the advertiser, but then there's the challenge of getting our media partners or the affiliates to track all this as well. So there's definitely a lot of moving parts and pieces on the back end that most people aren't aware of and don't see.
We're grateful for folks like you, Doug, that got this all figured out.
Well, I appreciate that compliment, but it is a team effort on the parts of the advertisers and us. And our advertisers also have some pretty good technical folks on board, and if they didn't, I don't know that we could be successful with them, because there's always challenges in placing pixels and doing what we call web service calls and postbacks and getting everything to work together. So we usually know how to set all the pieces in place, but to getting them to all work sometimes takes quite a bit of back and forth testing.
Sure. Well, I'm enjoying this peek behind the curtain. We are up against a break. We will be right back with Doug Davis from Smarter Chaos and James Martell.
More Chaos Makes Sense after this.
Impact Radius is revolutionizing the performance marketing industry with its solutions for advertisers and agencies. Founded by industry veterans in 2008, the company is fundamentally changing the performance marketing landscape. Go to impactradius.com today to learn more about their industry-leading solutions, including tag management, media management, affiliate tracking, mobile app tracking, and more.
affiliates. Make more money from your audience promoting Mtelligence. Mtelligence provides small businesses with the tools to engage, encourage, and measure customer satisfaction in real time with custom mobile surveys, rewarding participation with mobile coupons, while simultaneously building opt-in, SMS, and email marketing solutions. Take advantage as an affiliate by promoting the Mtelligence free trial offer and earn up to $20 per transaction. Join our affiliate program at mtelligence.co.
Nothing, yes, nothing that a brand or advertiser says about their product is nearly as influential as what is shared online by women. She Is Media is a unique and one-of-a-kind community designed to embrace women bloggers and their ability to share their story and drive the moment of intent. Join the Sisterhood of Sharing at sheismedia.com and make money recommending products and services that matter to you. Join sheismedia.com.
It's time now for more Chaos Makes Sense.
And I'm back with Doug Davis and James Martell. Now, we've been talking kind of about the technical aspects behind the scenes. One thing that we haven't touched on yet, Doug, is fraud mitigation. What are some of the challenges you face as an agency to protect your advertisers, and what tools do you use?
Yeah, that's a great question. As everybody knows, the internet is not the cleanest place to play in. And we do find a lot of challenges mitigating the fraud that we see going on out there. And when I say fraud, it's not just stolen credit cards or something along that lines, which there is a lot of that as well. But a lot of folks out there have figured out how to what I call game the system. And basically what that means is they have figured out ways that they think they can trick the system into getting paid multiple times, for example. So as a very specific example, a lot of our advertisers will pay out on a first-time submission, for example. A lot of folks out there have figured out ways via signing up through different networks or manipulating IP addresses or whatever the case may be to get paid multiple times. And what we do here at Smarter Chaos is in addition to the tools that we have at our disposal, I was telling James earlier, there's a human element that has to be involved. And we look at a lot of reporting and we look at patterns. And pretty soon the patterns start to stand out like a red flag. And that's what we look for. And we're pretty good at spotting those patterns. And then once we see that, we can work with our affiliates to shut down those publishers.
It's unfortunate, Doug, that we have to deal with this in this industry, and I guess just the internet in general. I'm always amazed at the level of sophistication again nowadays with the fraudsters. I know there was just recently an affiliate was actually just charged by the FBI, and I think the case is over, and he's actually doing some federal time. And to the tune of $35 million in commissions. Mm-hmm. So we're not talking chump change here, are we?
No, we're not. And there's a lot of fraud rings, unfortunately, that are cropping up. We find a lot of them cropping up from in Vietnam and China and places like that, where they'll basically tap into a network and play a little bit and drop a few leads and do nothing that looks suspicious. And kind of as long as they're under the radar, they'll increase that. They'll increase those leads a little bit until all of a sudden they'll just open it up wide. And it's at that point where you go, oh my gosh, look what we found. And it can be difficult to get them shut down because they move through different networks. But, we're always looking for stuff like that. And then there's also tools that help automate that as well.
That help automate the fraud process.
To automate the detection. And mitigation of that fraud. Okay. One of the best tools that we use is a company called Forensic, was formerly CPA Detective. They have technology in place. It pings an API back to them, and we get a fraud score in real time, and then we can set some programming that says don't fire our pixel at all, so that fraudster would never even get paid.
Great. It sounds like you really got it handled. You are, Doug, the COO at Smarter Chaos. So
that is correct.
What does that entail among all the stuff that we've talked about already?
Yeah, well, from the 10,000-foot overview, my role basically is to make sure that all processes and systems at Smarter Chaos run smoothly. they like to call me duct tape because I like to fix a lot of things. But I also like to think of myself as the plumber. We have, we have the front end of the hose with the sales, and we have the back end of the hose with the affiliate program, and it's my job to hook those hoses up and make sure that everything runs smoothly and that there's no leaks. And that can be everything from implementing the advertiser strategies to assisting the media partners to implement their tracking and testing. I manage all the advertisers' ad creative. Like as we mentioned just recently, it's my job to manage them and mitigate the fraud that comes in. Also manage all the new software implementation that we use. I think probably one of my most vital roles is to manage and maintain the health of the campaigns for the advertisers. And that includes using a lot of monitoring tools, looking at a lot of reports. As James and I were talking earlier, when we see spikes, that could be a good indication of fraud. If we see some dips in the reporting, that could indicate that there are tracking issues. So it's my job to make sure that everything runs smoothly. And that's kind of the back end systems of what goes on in affiliate marketing.
From the affiliate side, because so much of that is invisible to us on our side of the equation, it's amazing what goes into the process just to make sure we get paid for the referrals that we're sending.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And such an important role.
And make sure that it stays clean too, James. We don't want you from the advertiser side, we don't want advertisers paying for bad traffic. So, and on the affiliate side, we want to make sure that they get paid as well. So, it's not just getting paid, it's making sure that everything, as best as we can, stays clean.
It's really great to know that Smarter Chaos has someone like you in their corner, as well as the affiliates, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. But right now, it's time for Chaos Makes Sense. And I'm back with Doug and James. James, it's been a great pleasure having you with us today as well. Any last thoughts you'd like to share before we ask that final question of Doug?
Yeah, sure. The process of setting up an affiliate program can be most interesting. I think with the help that we had with the School of Internet Marketing, it was actually a pleasurable experience, even though we had some real challenges at our end in the beginning. And Doug and the team really helped to work that through. So I would just suggest anybody who's working on setting up a program or implementing a program like this to seek out the professionals, such as a company like Smarter Chaos, for sure.
Great. Thanks, James. And Doug, we always like to kind of find out what's going on in your world and what's getting you excited and out of the bed in the morning.
Well, usually my golden retriever is the first thing that gets me out of bed in the morning. And we go for a morning run. And then the possibility ahead of a fresh new campaign to get started on, to get set up, to work with new people and be able to impart some of my knowledge to them. When they come to us and they say, how do we do this? It's really fun to be able to sit down with folks and educate them on the processes. That's what gets me going. And then being able to head back to my little studio here and play some guitar.
Excellent. Well, if you want to get a hold of Doug and the folks at Smarter Chaos, you can find them on the web at smarterchaos.com. You can get a hold of Doug via email, doug@smarterchaos.com. And if you want to connect with James, you can find him on Twitter at James Martell. We are out of time for today's program. Can you think of someone who might benefit from what we've covered here today? They'll thank you for forwarding this episode on to them. Doug, James, thanks so much.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thanks, Kimberly. Much appreciated.
Thanks for listening. At Smarter Chaos Online Performance Marketing, we do it all. We create order from chaos, and we will drive your sales. Contact us today at smarterchaos.com. That's www.smarterchaos.com.
Fascinated, I'm moving fast.